Welcome guys, and today it's Andrew Fessick, and I'm back with another daily update for you. So we're going to start off going over with the Dow. So the Dow was down, not much today. It was down earlier in the morning, probably 40-50 points. As of right now, at 3:30, it is up 173 points. That is very good news. This is because of a lot of things. I'll talk about this today. I'll talk about why it was down today. Let's get into the main news. Trump and Xi Jinping, G20 summit. I brought this up yesterday. We're going to bring it up again today. They're talking today. They're meeting today. We're waiting to see what happens in this summit. I believe it's 2 days. We're looking to see what happens. We're going to see if anything happens with the trade war. And I do think some news might happen. Not absolutely nothing. I think either it gets more intense and Trump comes out pissed off and goes at it full on, or they have some agreement that keep the tariff. Some news is going to happen. This is discussed, and it's just we're waiting to see what happens. Now, it looks off of this, it looks like the IRS, not the IRS. It looks like the stock market is confident that something positive will come out of this. And I think this is good, as we're starting to see certain companies like GM say blame the trade, and Ford blame the trade war on their mishaps. I personally think this might have a little to do with, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think it's really GM has a terrible business model. They can't make money whatsoever. I think that's the problem with GM cutting 15% of their workforce. So I back to G20 summit. I think we're gonna see some great stuff come out of that. I hope, I pray, because we need it. Now, I'm going to get back into Deutsche Bank. Yesterday I talked about that. That was over Panama Papers. Look them up. There's not much news about them. It's the money laundering scandal. But I want to clarify that Danske Bank is another money laundering scandal. And the raids, they came out today and said it was not because of any relations with Danske Bank, another Norwegian bank firm, and same, it used to be a great bank as well, and now it's just been destroyed by these fines and money scandals, money laundering scandals. Money laundering is a big deal, especially in Europe, so it's very bad. Both these banks have been hit hard in the last few months over the money laundering, so it's definitely not a good thing. And I just want to clarify that Deutsche Bank's over the Panama Papers. If you want to know more about that, look it up. There's not all that much information on it right now because it's kind of a growing thing. That's why they had to raid Deutsche Bank's headquarters. Danske Bank's on totally different other things, and Deutsche might have had a place in the Danske Bank money laundering scandal, but the raids get conducted yesterday. They came out and said were for the Panama Papers and not Danske Bank. So I just want to make sure that was clear. Now we're going to go into Marriott. They're a big firm, a huge hotel firm. I love the hotels personally. I actually think that's a good company because they own a lot of hotels. And for stock price, I mean now I don't know about it, but when the economy's good, people will go on vacations. Theoretically, they should. That company should make money. They have a big monopoly on the time. Not monopoly like a monopoly, but they hold a large market share of hotels and vacation resorts, and they do a great job too. Personally, I love Marriott. But problem is, $500 million user accounts data were breached in 2014. Similar to actually Yahoo. It's just not 3 billion users. It's 500 million, but it's still a very significant number. So this is gonna hurt their stock price. And today, it did. Let me pull it up right now. Today it dropped 6% to $114 a share. So I definitely would say it would hurt the stock price. And I think this is expected. This is almost a healthy drop. If it didn't drop, this would be a problem. It's a panicked almost today. It's a panicked sell today. We don't know what's going to happen. It's uncertainty. I'll never stop talking about it. Market goes down when there's uncertainty. If there's not uncertainty, people are going to buy into markets. Right now, there's uncertainty in a lot of things. Yesterday, there was less uncertainty. Uncertainty was cleared up, so people put their money back in. So uncertainty is a huge thing to play with the markets, and I think this Marriott scandal just shows the truth. Even with Deutsche and Danske Bank as well, those stocks are falling off uncertainty. What is going to happen? What is going to happen to these banks with the money launderers. Are they going to get out clean? These are banks that have been struggling for a few years. Will they continue to struggle? Will they go out of business because of fines or other things placed on the banks? This is the uncertainty investors have to ask. Would you put your money there? I don't know. Comment down below. Don't forget to share with your friends. But let's get into next thing is HP. So the last 5-10 years, PC shipments have slowed. PC shipments have slowed greatly. HP has had trouble. They had to split into two companies. They had to split into a business productivity cloud suite called HP Enterprise, stock ticker HPE. Many of you probably don't even know that just because it's not a consumer company. You probably still think Hewlett Packard HP is still HP, and it is. It's HPQ is their symbol. And I don't think this stock's very good because we saw the last 10 years they've struggled because they haven't made money off their PCs, and that's all they really have. Hardware is a very tough business, especially in this time, and especially when people are not buying as many PCs. It's a hard business. Hardware is always much harder to make money, much harder margins because you have to pay the people. With software, you just have to pay people to produce the software and keep providing updates and all that, but you still really, theoretically, you're just paying the people in payroll to produce the software, and then you can sell the software with no production cost aside from paying the people. With hardware, you have to actually pay someone to design it, pay someone to make it, then you have to make it, get all the materials, put it together, ship it, all that. That's a lot more time. So the hardware business, especially in technology, Silicon Valley, the hardware business is very difficult, and the margins aren't very good for what I just said. So I think this is something we really want to look towards. And their profit surged off of the new PC sales, great new PC growth. So this may be a turnaround for the company. Comment below what you think. I'm a little skittish on the company just because it's hardware. I think if you want to put your money, especially in these markets, pick better. You could pick something better. And that's why I was skittish on Apple yesterday also, is because they're more hardware. I think they are transferring over to a software business, but right now they are still very hardware oriented. Bayer's cutting 12,000 jobs to cut costs. They're a huge firm that produces a lot of brands, you know. Copperton and Dr. Scholl's, you might know. Those are two brands they're going to cut off and get rid of. Because they're not profitable enough. This could be signs of the economy slowing. I want you to comment below if you think this and GM, all this, signs people are starting to get weary that the economy is going to start to slow in the coming 2 years, coming year. Because a lot of economists think so too, as well as I do. And I think these jobs might be signaling companies are starting to get weary on the economy and the future outlook and really, really want to cut costs. So another thing I want to talk about is oil. Oil has had a historic fall, plunged 22% in November. This is the worst fall it ever did in the last 10 years for 1 month. 22%. Just put that into perspective. That means if it was $100 a share, which was